antibiotics. If you take a long course of antibiotics, if your doctor has any sense at all, they're going to tell you to take some probiotics at the end of that, or some good Greek yogurt, one way or the other, to repair your gut health. Sloth can't go to GNC. He doesn't have Publix. He needs a different source for his gut bacteria. So how he replenishes his gut bacteria is by the waste of the moths. The moths live in the sloth's fur, about 100 to 150 of them all of the time. And as he grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the waste of the moths, which is how he replenishes his gut bacteria. And he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves, which is a small source of protein for the sloth. Benefit to the moth is that the sloth is the living environment and the food source of the moths. So the sloth, there is a type of moth called a sloth moth that lives nowhere in the world except in the waste or in the fur of a sloth. The only reasons the moth will leave the sloth during their life is to drink water that pools up in the leaves at the top of the rainforest and to get into the waste pile to lay their eggs. What they're feeding on is the moss and algae that are in the sloth's fur. So, and a side benefit to the sloth is that they fertilize the moss and algae with their waste. So that means that the sloth has more disguise from eagles, because more moss and algae, more disguise in the top of the trees, right? So if you've seen the pictures of your sloth, I'm sure it's green and brown and nasty looking, right?
There's one where he's sort of this color, and I think there is one picture where he does have like some green on him.
Yeah, if he's that color, he probably just came out, it probably just rained really hard and washed it down some, or he came out of water, because normally they're all brown and green and nasty looking in the wild. Yeah. So in captivity, the reason that they don't need the moths is, remember, for us, antibiotics are what kill our gut bacteria. For him, cold weather is what will kill his. So in captivity, we never let him get cold. It is always between 77 and 80 degrees in these rooms. It's always 50% relative humidity in these rooms. So that is why the sloth doesn't need the moths in captivity. So other things about sloths. Sloths have horrible vision. Oh, we already talked about that. Sloth's teeth. The sloth, as they open and close their mouth, you hear a So his teeth sharpen against each other every time he opens and closes his mouth. He's going to live about 20 years in the rainforest, and he's going to have big, strong, sharp teeth the whole time. He has no enamel on his teeth, and his teeth grow throughout his life. So as the outside layer of his teeth would naturally rot, the outside layer is scraping off. So his teeth stay strong and healthy forever. With rodents, it would be their two, buck teeth that grow, and they sharpen them on external things. With a sloth, it's his fang teeth that grow forever, and they sharpen against each other. Yeah, got some big choppers on that boy, doesn't he? And if you're ever going to a sloth encounter somewhere else, this is one of my disclaimers. I try to get them throughout because people jump on and off of lives, If you're going to a sloth encounter, please look at the way that they operate. Some things that I believe to show someone to be ethically operating is if they point out they have captive bred sloths, and it is true, if it's true, and they don't book their sloths for multiple hours all day, every day, as often as someone will pay them. Ours do precisely 2 encounters per day, and that is it. Each sloth only does 2 encounters a day. And if their sloths don't have teeth, it's because they pulled them. And I would not do that to an animal. And the reason they would pull their teeth is so they can't possibly bite you and them get sued. So anyhow, our sloths do a maximum of 2 encounters with a maximum of 2 people per encounter. So our sloths see very few people every day, and they enjoy it when they do. So the sloth, his feet. So if we were doing a 2-arm hang in PE class when we were younger, you could remember that a minute is a long time to hang on a bar, right? And the reason for that is this is our stress or exertion state. This is our relaxed state. Exerting no energy, full exertion. Sloth is the opposite. When he's hanging from the branch and when he's clamped down, that is his relaxed state. When he is opening his hands like this, that is his exertion state. So if you see him reach out, he reaches out all slow like this, but then he'll just snap right back. This is return to relaxed. And so the sloth could hang there for days and days with no energy exertion at all. And it is so true that he's exerting no energy to hang from that tree, that if he died, he would not necessarily fall out of the tree. He could continue to hang there dead for days or weeks until something knocked him loose or until something rotted. He would continue to hang there dead. The sloth is crazy strong. You know, they say an orangutan is 7 times stronger than a person, and that's a combination of the size of the animal and the pound per pound of the animal. Pound per pound, this guy is much, much stronger than a person. Obviously, he's not overall stronger because he's tiny. But pound per pound, his muscle tissue is much, much stronger than our muscle tissue is. He can do a 1-arm pull-up by any of his 4 arms or legs and then hang there. So, you know, he is very, very strong. The sloth, I said he is like a slinky. Not only he has a lot of vertebra in his main spine between his hips and shoulders, but he's got 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs.
Wow.
So he's got more ribs than any other mammal that I'm aware of. I think it's any other mammal. But that protects all of his organs, you know, over his long cylindrical body. He also has connective tissue that goes all back and forth between his body, all through his organ cavity. So for us, our organs are basically just sitting in our pelvis, upper bounded by our diaphragm. But there's not connective tissue holding our stuff all together. It just stays where it's supposed to. If you were hanging from one of those inversion tables for a long time, eventually it would put back pressure on your diaphragm, and it would get hard to breathe over a period of time. This guy is going to hang, you know, upside down horizontally like this, upside down vertically like this. He might be right side up. He might be sitting. He could be in any position at any time of day, and he could stay there for a long, long time. So it's important that the connective tissue goes all in between him, and that keeps all his organs exactly where they're supposed to be all the time, no matter what his body position is. Because he's upside down for long times, he does have a check valve at the top of his stomach, so, you know, it's a one-way, so his food goes in and it can't come back out. So it's not possible for a sloth to vomit, it can't come back. But he also, his esophagus, you know, people ask me, how can he swallow upside down? Well, you could too. You just don't stand on your head and eat off of it. Peristalsis, that's how your food makes it from the back of your mouth down to your stomach, is a muscle spasm. He has the same, but his esophagus goes all the way down around his stomach and then in. So, you know, it doesn't so much matter what his position is at any time, eating, drinking, whatever. And they almost never drink. I say eating, drinking, just because those two words seem to go together, but they almost never drink. They get almost all of their liquid from their food, yeah.
Huh. Gosh, you want some more?
He may be just about done. That's about. So
He
this
eats
guy
all
is
the
absolutely
green
on
beans.
his schedule. He does his. And since you guys are second, you get to see the way the sloth goes up into his room. So his belly is full, and he is now going to go and take a nap for about 4 hours. And the next time he's going to be awake is about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And you guys are welcome. And then that bar up there with all those little jets in it, that's his misting system that makes it like it rains on him if he was in the rainforest, you know? And we will soon be having live cams. And if you have been here and then you're looking from the live cam, you could get a little disoriented. So worth knowing, if you're ever going to look at the live cams, that's the camera way up there in the corner.
Okay.
So you'll be looking down on the sloth, not up at the sloth. And the live cams will be up here fairly soon.
Yeah, I watch a lot. I watch a lot of the videos on TikTok.
Well, this will be something different. It'll be live. There's a camera on the sloth, and there's a camera on the baby kangaroos, and there's a camera on the baby llama and alpaca. And yeah, thank you. And there's a camera out on the zebra, emu, camel field. And it'll be like 3 or 4 ways on the screen, and you can just click on whichever one there's something going on. You could use like a screensaver or something, you know, on your desk, whatever.
Yeah.
Just live cams is all it is. All right, we're moving on to the VIP portion of your encounter now. So now we're gonna go see Zoe. Alan, you can tell them how Zoe's gonna move across to him and how she likes to be petted.
Yep. So you can go ahead and sit down there. I see you're going first on holding.
She's doing all the
Oh,
holding.
all
She's doing it all.
Do you want a chair? No?
Okay. So I'll show you how Zoe likes to be held. That way you're comfortable and she's comfortable. So I'll pass her off to you, and as you can see, she holds on to you. So don't feel like you gotta like hold her like a baby, human baby. So she will hold on to you, and your job is to be like a secure tree trunk that she can hold on to. And then when you're petting her, she like just soft strokes here on the back of her neck. You don't want to touch her belly, her face. Trying to think what else. And then also you don't want to do backwards. And the same thing as Flash petting him basically, but just again short little strokes here on the back of her neck she really likes. And we'll see if she wants some spinach also, because she was napping with me, but now that she's awake she want a snack. So I'll pass her to you. She'll reach for you, so you just gotta kind of sit like this, and she will reach for you. There we go. So, and you're doing perfect. So the one hand is underneath her bum there, and another hand to pet. You're not gonna get in my coffee cup, Baku. So if she, for whatever, she's still learning, so she's a baby, and she's still exploring with her mouth. So if she ever does kind of like this on your face or jawline or anything, just slowly turn your head. So that way she doesn't nibble on you, because babies turn into adults, and we don't want to teach her that nibbling on people is okay. People aren't food. Yeah, I'll move him into the other room because he just.
No, he's fine, he doesn't bother
He
us.
drives me crazy. He was always trying to dig into my shoes.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
What's
Mr. Baku.
your name?
Fallon.
Fallon.
Yeah. And Baku. But anyways, I'll put him in the Creighton
Yeah.
out there, so that way it's not bothering you guys.
Pretty cool the way he falls up.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So the difference, say what?
Do they have like?
Absolutely, yeah. Her ears are right. She's like an 80s rock star. You wouldn't know she had ears unless you dig in their hair.
Okay.
Her ears are right there. And proportional to her head, they're just as big as ours are.
I got you. They do.
Look just like our ears, pretty much. So, difference between Zoe and Flash, and I don't talk near as much on this encounter because it's, you know, I find that most people don't hear a word I said anyway. They just want to hold a sloth. But, exactly, right. So, difference between Zoe and Flash is the way that they were raised. So this one was raised from a baby to be an ambassador animal. That means that she comes to us from a doctor of veterinary medicine who's been doing this for about 30 years, raising ambassador animals. So his mother animals are clicker trained. Click, 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 I'm gonna take the baby, but it'll be right back. So it doesn't stress the mothers, and therefore it doesn't stress the babies.
Okay.
So they are being held from day 14 of their life every single day. It starts from 30 seconds, then 45, then a minute, and so on and so forth, until by the time the mother has weaned the baby of her own choosing, the baby is being held directly by humans for 30, 45 minutes at a time, several times a day.
You said they're weaned at 15 days?
No, they only make milk for 3 to 6 weeks, but they are weaned much later than that.
Okay.
In the case of a 2-fingered sloth, it might be 4 or 5 months. A 3-fingered sloth can be more than a year. And but they only nourish them with milk for about 3 to 6 weeks. After that, the mother's teaching the baby to survive in the world, and
Okay.
you know, things like that. So, so when they come here, they are entirely people-oriented. They love to hang around your neck. They would hang around your neck for 10 hours if you sat there for 10 hours. And they just genuinely enjoy what they do. And I think that the key, in my opinion, the key to that is that they see very few people So they're not just getting handed person to person to
Right.
person to person to person all day long. This girl's gonna see a max of 4 people in a day. And if I had the staffing and the time for you to sit here for 2 or 3 hours, she'd love it.
She'd just sit
But
there.
yep, she'd sit there for as long as you would hold her. And when she was almost named Oof, because when you go to put her down, she goes, Oof, Oof, which means, no, keep holding me. And yeah, she just would love to be held all day, every day. Her name is Zoe, and having just seen Flash, you can see the differences. So she is nearly her full adult mass. She's just about as big as Flash is. But if you look at her claws, his claws were, like this. And her claws are like not
Yes,
even an
much
inch.
smaller.
And her teeth, if she very often yawns during these things, if she yawns and you see her teeth, you'll see that her teeth are about this big and his
And
teeth are
Flash's
about
were
that
much
big.
longer.
And her hair coat is maybe 2 inches long at most, and his hair coat is maybe 4 or 5 inches long at most. So she still has a lot of maturing to do, but she is approaching her full body mass. And she is nearing potty time. So if you look at her right now today, she is like a little fat Buddha. If you check a video again in a couple days, she'll look like a cylinder again. Look how wide apart her legs go around you, right? Crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Just comfy.
What's the hat? Is that pipe fitters?
Firefighter.
Oh, firefighter. Okay, I didn't have my reading glasses on. I can't see nothing.
I understand perfectly.
Professional or volunteer?
Professional.
Oh, okay. Where are you from?
Macon, Georgia.
Oh, all right. What's the population there?
Big.
100,000.
100,000.
108, I think it is.
So you have multiple stations?
Yeah, we have 22 stations.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
People want to burn all that stuff down. Is it more EMT or more fire?
More EMT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately and unfortunately.
Right.
Fortunately for the neighborhood, unfortunately for us adrenaline junkies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have quite a few fires though.
My wife was born on March Air Force Base in Riverside, California.
Mm-hmm.
And we happened to be there. We were on a trip around the country in our RV. And we happened to be there the week before. They were going to burn it down for fire team training.
Mm-hmm.
And so she actually got to go into the delivery room where she was born, 40 years earlier.
Oh, wow.
So there were only 2 delivery rooms in the March
Oh,
Air
wow.
Force Base Hospital. But the firefighters were all walking around in the building planning how they were going to burn it down.
Oh, wow.
And I guess before they actually lit it up, they were doing a whole lot of training on stairs and elevators. And,
Mm-hmm.
what if a real hospital really caught on fire? What would you have to do? So I guess it was just a huge training opportunity for firefighters from all over the place
It's
that they
hard
were,
to get that kind of training too.
that they were going to burn a hospital to the ground.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
or I don't know if they were planning to just burn it to the ground right off or let them try to put it out several times. I'm not sure.
Probably try to put it out several times.
You'd think that would make sense. I mean, that's too much of a resource to just light it up and watch it go.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to be able to do that, but EPA kind of got involved and of course, you know how that goes.
What are you doing?
Stretching.
Well, that may calm down here directly though, right?
Yeah, it could. Hey, I thought about that. It might be a good idea to start back training. Yeah, when I went through training, I've been there 24 years, and we were actually burning old houses for training,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd light them up and go in, knock the fire down, and come back out, and let another crew go in and knock it down. But then EPA got involved and was like, nope, we can't do that anymore.
She likes it way slower than that even. Yeah. So, I'm retired from the Navy, and in the Navy, everybody does fire training, because, ship catches on fire, that's important.
Everybody's at work.
Yeah, that's important. So, they have all the things down there that they light them up every week, during boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets to do the hose team, gooseneck, and sweep, 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 and all that kind of junk. It's pretty fun running around in, but they're all steel structures just with gas lines all through them that they light up. But of course, that's that was 1989 that I was in boot camp.
Did y'all use a lot of foam to put those out?
AFFF, aqueous firefighting foam.
Mm-hmm. Aqueous film forming.
Oh, film forming
Film forming
foam.
foam.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
No, I understand.
It's a miracle I remember it's AFFF.
Yeah, for real. They've had a lot of things online lately about it, using that AFFF.
You guys started using fire blankets on cars? No? Why not?
They haven't brought it to us.
Really? The videos that you see on it looks genius that
Yeah.
they have these massive blankets, they throw it over a car that's on fire and it's out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And they say that they can put out a fire quicker with a blanket than they can with a hose.
Mm-hmm.
Even when there's somebody inside of the car burning,
Looking at the
that it's quicker with a
videos,
blanket.
looking at the videos, it is, but.
That's just something new that she hasn't seen.
Where you going? What are you doing?
So her vision is horrible, so she experiences her world by smell, hearing, and tactile feeling, So she's just, when she's up around your neck, if you're quiet and you listen, she's gonna be breathing like this. Because she wants to get right back to smelling again. And she'll put her neck right against you and feel the vibrations of your throat with her ear. See the way she's got her ear leaned into your throat right there?
Yeah.
So she's feeling your breathing and your vibrations. And she's just snuggling up as close to your body as she can, just experiencing you.
It feels like she's giving you a hug.
Oh,
She's
she
like
is.
grabbing
Yeah.
tight.
Actually, she's focused on not grabbing tight because remember, the relaxed state is clamped down.
That's right, yeah.
But if she clamped down all the time, that would be painful to you. So that's the reason you got to support her underneath, so she doesn't have to feel like she has to hang on. But when I go to pick her up, you're gonna find that her two little feet are just latched down on your clothes on both sides, and she like digs her foot around a little bit and gets a hold of your clothes, so she doesn't get a hold of you. She's actually quite considerate of the people that hold her.
Yeah.
Yeah. With most of our animals, we find that animals mirror people. So if you get a nervous, excited person onto a horse, you're gonna have a nervous, excited horse.
Mm-hmm.
But with sloths, generally people will mirror the sloth. And so you put somebody in the chair and they hold the sloth, just a sense of calm seems to hit you that you really can't describe.
This is a birthday present.
Oh, is it? Is today your birthday or
Sunday.
close to it? Nice,
Sunday.
excellent.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going till we got in the truck this morning.
Oh, good. The lady this morning didn't know until she saw the sloth.
Really?
The lady that went first today, yeah.
Hey, baby, it's okay.
So that's always my cue when somebody pulls up to the gate and they say we're here for the encounter. I know that someone in the car doesn't know what they're doing, so I'm real careful not to say anything until they walk in. If they say we're here for the sloth encounter, then I know that everybody in the car knows.
Well, I told her when we got off 75 on 411. That's when I told her then, because I knew at some point she was gonna figure out, because she watches your videos all the time.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure it out. We'll get thousands of people on a live, but then we post things every day and nobody watches them. I can't figure it out. So
So you post them,
on TikTok,
okay.
if you're looking at a live and you like swipe to one side, it shows you all of that person's videos.
Mm-hmm.
We have hundreds of videos.
I was showing him some on the way up here.
I mean, like on 2 Saturdays ago, there were 300,000 people that watched the live.
Mm-hmm.
And then we posted a video later in the day. It was super cute. It was a 1-day-old Scottish Highland baby cow.
Uh-huh.
And I think it only had 700 views. I'm like, why do people not? I mean, obviously they like what we do, but they don't have any idea of
I have
everything
you
we
as
do.
one of my favorites, so
Yeah.
you come in my feed.
Oh, okay.
So,
What we're doing, they're scrolling through and when it pops up, they watch it, hit like, and they scroll some more.
Probably.
That's-
A lot of lives will have, 50,000 likes and 2 or 3, 400,000 people that watch a live.
Yeah.
But then we'll post a video and I'll be like, this is the one everybody's gonna love. And then 700 people look at it. And then you post the exact same video a week later and 1 million people watch it. It just, there's an algorithm of some sort that, of course, they don't want you to know what it is, but
Right.
that's why everybody on their lives is saying like and share, like and share.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's what drives to
Okay.
put it on people's For You page.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, there are so many cool videos, I don't know why people don't watch them.
So like when Dash came, so you said Dash doesn't stay down here.
Yeah, he comes down for his encounter, which is at 5 and 5:30.
So I'm assuming that Zoe and Flash are not his parents.
No, Zoe's only 1 year old. She wouldn't be able to have a baby for a couple years yet.
Okay.
And we don't have any particular plans to or not to breed. We haven't decided. We have still a long time to figure that out.
Now do her and Flash like interact with each other? Do they?
They're aware of each other. They see each other regularly, but they have no interest whatsoever.
Okay.
But if Flash is on the bar out there and this door's open, he wants to check out Zoe's room.
Yeah.
Let's see what the neighbor's room is.
Uh-huh.
But he could care less about Zoe. And the
Okay.
first time he came in here, I'm like, oh, how are we gonna get him out of here? Well, after an hour, he got bored and he just came out of his
So
own
they're not
accord.
like companion animals or things
They're
like that?
completely solitary in the wild. They come together once in a year or two to mate for 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it.
Okay.
And they're not mated. It's just the female, when she's in heat, makes a high-pitched, like D-sharp screech that can be heard for a long ways,
Uh-huh.
and gets all the boys interested in whoever gets there first.
Okay. She's so sweet. She's just laying here with her eyes closed.
Yeah, she really is.
Are you videoing or taking pictures?
Mm-hmm. But
Teresa told me I had to send her pictures.
we got video and pictures,
Okay.
an ample amount. Of both.
Right,
So since we moved over to another sloth and people jump on and off the lives all the time, I'll do the disclaimer again. Please don't see, for our online audience, what we're doing here, and let this give you the idea it's a good idea to buy yourself a sloth. If you buy a sloth off of the internet, you are getting an animal that was kidnapped out of the rainforest, and it is not going to go like this. This is a multiple generation captive bred animal, and it is the difference between having a puppy that you bought from someone that's had puppies for generations and generations that's meant to live in your house versus trying to get a wolf to live at peace in your house. The puppy is a tame animal and the wolf is a wild animal. If you buy a sloth off the internet, you are buying a wild animal. It will not go like this. That sloth would be extremely unlikely to survive in captivity. Beyond it not being a pleasant experience, it would likely result in the short-term death of the sloth. And if you're going out to a sloth encounter, please look carefully at the page of the people where you're going. Our sloths do 2 encounters per day, 2 people at a time. That's it. There are many places that have sloth encounters that they book those sloths all day, every day. And in my personal opinion, that is stressful to the sloth and just all about the money, not about the love of a sloth. So, not saying there aren't other good encounters out there, just saying please be careful where you go, that they actually love and care about their animals. It makes a difference.
fed one before, but they didn't let you hold them at the wild safari.
Mhm.
They would let us come in, their encounter was you could come in and feed the sloth,
Yeah, that's not a bad encounter.
but they wouldn't let you hold it.
I mean, as long as they're still dealing with captive bred sloths, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
The holding them, they have to be oriented to it right from birth. But, so ours are not taken from their mothers though.
Mhm.
Ours, where we get them from, they go back to the mother every time. So they get all the social nutritional benefit of being a mother-raised animal while getting all the social benefit of being a people-raised animal. So, you know, if you took them from their mother immediately, you could make them people animals, but they wouldn't get all the social and nutritional of being a mother-raised
Right.
animal.
She's so precious.
Go to sleep, huh?
I don't doubt it.